This is Valerie Aiello, and you're listening to IdeaDiary. Thanks for coming back to my office to hang out. Okay, so Tuesday I had this big event type of thing, and on Monday I was kind of running around doing random things, and I thought, okay, I would take a break on Monday. And then Tuesday, I should have had plenty of time to sit and record and upload something. But the day happened really fast. So I did accidentally miss 2 days instead of just 1 day. I'm trying to go with the flow here, but my goal is to record a show every day. And there are some times when I can prepare a little bit when I know something's coming up. But I really want to figure out what's on my mind for the day, kind of what happened the day before, what came across my plate, I guess, and just kind of talk about what things are happening in real time. My opinion is out of 365 days of a year, if I hit 300 shows, I'm considering that a success. I am hoping to one day have really well organized content that is shareable and searchable and brings value and all that stuff, but at the same time just practicing talking to the camera and practicing being, I guess, communicating well and try to be listenable and entertaining for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day. I think that's where it's at. I think if you can accomplish that, you'll get really far. The new way of, I guess, I feel like the new way of working, the new way of communicating, the new way of kind of existing. Not that you have to do this well to have a successful anything, but I feel like if I keep practicing, I feel like it's an achievable thing for me. So I'm keeping it going. One of the things, I had to buy a birthday present. So I knew this person really wanted a John Denver vinyl. And so when I had gone to Barnes & Noble before, I had seen a John Denver Greatest Hits vinyl for $20, which was a lot cheaper than the $37 The Chicks album that I had purchased. So I felt like, I think the $20 album, and maybe the reason why it's so inexpensive brand new in a store is because they can print a lot of John Denver's greatest hits and it's probably going to sell. So I feel like, okay, maybe that's a factor. But the $37 for an album, I feel like that's too much for an average person to be able to just be a real vinyl collector. In a lot of records, there was a John Denver Christmas album that was $37, and I was like, what? Who could buy that for that? It seems really unrealistic, and wow. So I don't know. I was just kind of thinking, I really hope that artists and labels, they really aren't pricing the albums based on, hey, other albums are selling for $34.99 or $37, or so let's just go ahead and, if that's what people are used to purchasing, let's just go ahead and make that happen. Let's set the price of what people are willing to spend. I'm really hoping that people can price their vinyl just on what's the real cost of it. I understand needing to make a profit, but if it is possible to make a vinyl record for sale for $20, and I realize that's like probably a superstar being able to print tons and tons of them. I get that, but I don't know. Like I think we need to roll back the prices to something more affordable, even $24.99 if they need to be. I don't know. I hope for vinyl, because people are excited about vinyl that haven't purchased even a CD since the 90s, So I feel like there's some excitement for it. It's going to get bigger and bigger. It's really going to go mainstream. I really feel like with people being home now and making their cocktail bars at home and people having parties at home and entertaining at home, and their home is the new thing to do, and just making your home more exciting and more fun to be inside of it. I feel like the cocktail bar at home is coming back. So that happened a lot in the 60s, 70s, 80s. People would build houses and you'd have this little nook that was like your bar area in your living room or something like that. And I feel like that's going to start coming back. And I feel like vinyls, something's happening with that trend too, where you have your bar and you have your vinyls and your records, and people can pick what they want to listen to, and everyone's having fun. In the 90s, when I worked at a record store, most of the CDs were $13.99 and some of them were $17.99. That was the kind of like one or the other price point. But there was a time when Fugazi, they had Discord records. Their albums were $9.99, maybe $11.99. Their CDs and their cassettes were $7.99. And they were purposely cheaper because the Discord decided they didn't want to make as much money as possible off of each sale of each record. So maybe that's a crazy, stupid idea, but I hope that if labels and bands and the people that are putting the records in the record stores can get that price point to be as cheap as possible, maybe for just a little while. I hope that doesn't mean that to make cheaper records as cheap as possible. It's very nice. You can tell the difference between a vinyl that's higher quality than just a cheap vinyl. But at the same time, I feel like I've had records probably my whole entire life definitely my entire life since I was born, because I have records from my dad's stuff that he had for a very long time. But, just even if I didn't treat the records with perfection and just, a lot of the records have scratches and bumps and weird, crackling sounds. And I kind of like that. So I think even if it's not the most expensive vinyl in the world, it's still listenable, it's still enjoyable. And I don't know, I think right now is the moment in time when records can, maybe they can't take over the world, but they're coming back and they're coming strong, and let's get that price affordable. That was the main thing I wanted to talk about for that. I have gotten my new flowers, so I'm trying to have live, fresh flowers in my existence for all the time. And so I've never been a flower person. So I'm trying to learn what flowers do what. My goal is to spend $5 on flowers that I keep for 2 weeks. So I'm just trying to make little tiny bouquets and strategically place them, in the bedside, in the kitchen, in my office, in the living room. So just little bits of flowers everywhere. And, I have a system that I'm trying to do, and I can get like a really nice batch of flowers for about $5, just like a fun little batch to put into little tiny vases all around. Sometimes I'll just go ahead and spend $10, and then I'm learning how to take care of them, how to make them last longer, cool water, cutting the stems, keeping the leaves out of the water, changing the water every 2 days or 3 days or so. The one thing I've learned that I really like are hydrangeas. These seem to really last if you're cutting the bottoms and you're keeping them going, and they fill up a tiny bouquet really well. If you are curious about keeping fresh flowers around, because I do feel like this raises your vibration, it kind of helps with an abundance mindset. There's something to it. I can't really pinpoint it just yet because this kind of just started for me. they're like little pets. It's something that you kind of have to watch and take care of. So be ready for that. But the hydrangeas are definitely, even if you just have them, a hydrangea alone in a little vase, it feels very luscious and they feel really big. These are purple, so they come in different colors and stuff like that. But even so, like just one sunflower and one hydrangea, if you bought them separately at the grocery store or wherever flowers are, you could definitely buy that for $5 or less and try to make it last for 2 weeks. So just one little flower tip that I've learned. So while I'm researching and learning about having fresh little bouquets around. So what else? Oh, I started watching a documentary called Grounding or Earthing. I'm going to link the documentary below in the description of this show. The documentary is called The Earthing Movie, The Incredible Science of Grounding. And it's all about connecting your feet to the actual ground, so the earth. And, if I wish I sort of lived by a beach of some kind, hopefully I can be moving by the lake at some point in this crazy time. But I'm going with the flow on that one. So I do feel like I do not put my feet on the floor very much. I don't even walk barefoot in the house very much because I do live in an older, like a 1939 Austin Pier beam. So it's not really the same when you have an older house. The barefoot shoe experience is not really the same as if you have a newer home. So I definitely I use sandals around when I'm walking around. But I think I'm going to try to get outside and put my feet in the grass or something, because the science behind the grounding, and I think they were talking about grounding sheets that you can put on your bed and it helps you sleep better. And it overall helps, there's like electromagnetic thing that we connect with the earth. And, it's just very interesting concept. So this documentary is really well done. I'm guessing, I'm trying to learn about movies and how you can make money with a movie by obviously having it for rent using Amazon. I don't know. There's a name for it. I think when you can upload on Amazon, if you want to make your own TV show, if you want to make your own movie, it's the one place where independent filmmakers can do the renting system, and where a normal person might say, feel comfortable renting and watching a movie using their Amazon Prime account or just Amazon in general. It's a little bit more mainstream than, say, if you had your movie available for rent or for sale on Gumroad, for example. The Amazon brings some normalcy to that process for people that aren't used to weird creative websites. But moving on, I think another way is, I think you can put a movie to watch for free on YouTube and turn on the ads. There are so many ways to make money being a creative, and, now that the internet's in our life, and I hope that we keep expanding and making that more possible than the censorship that happens and I think there might be some bad moves instead of expanding moves with content creators, whatever opinion it is that you might have with what should and shouldn't be allowed. I really think making it easier for more people to create and to post, and to make it easier to have movies, even to have screenings in actual movie theaters if they ever come back. Just making that process a little more easy and bringing back the art houses and all that stuff. I feel like we have a chance, especially in this time when you can make so much more money so much faster with so many less people. Even just one person can have $100,000 days with 0 employees using the internet. So I just feel like overall I'm feeling really positive. I was kind of getting down in the dumps a little bit on things going bad and the society, economy and stuff. But, you get all the bad news, and I feel like you can turn that frown upside down. You can look at things a little bit differently. Maybe there's stuff that we need to learn. Maybe we need to slow down. But I think our future is definitely bright. It's coming in faster than ever expected could be possible. And we just got to keep it positive and hit the ground running and, make your dreams come true. I think now is the time for creatives to just be creatives and not feel guilty about it and not having to have day jobs that don't bring you joy. So that's what's going on with me today. I hope you're having a good day, and thanks for listening on iTunes or Spotify or watching the full show, the video and the audio on YouTube. Yeah, feeling good. So I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.